I'll just start with you, Tim. Is this your second varsity match?
Second varsity match, yeah.
What position are you playing?
Prop.
Have you always played prop?
Yeah,
or?
I've played prop since.
Okay. And Hugo, second as well?
Yeah.
Position?
Prop as well, yeah.
Okay. Are you facing each other or?
I don't know.
Well, if selected, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've changed the venue this year. We're moving to a non-rugby ground. We're going to the HAC, right in the heart of the City of London. Start with you, Tim. How do you feel that bodes for the varsity match in the future?
Yeah, it's a really exciting venue to be playing at. Like you said, right in the heart of the city, which makes it great potential for the corporate venue and great potential for getting a big crowd in. It's a really high-class venue with a lot of history, which is really suited to these two clubs. So we're really excited about it going into the future.
Cool. Same question to Hugo.
I mean, I'll just echo that. Yeah, I think the corporate sponsorship opportunities are fantastic, which is it benefits both clubs going forward. Benefits the fixture as a whole, benefits the profile of it. There's been some real first-class fixtures played there. So yeah, we're very excited about it.
Okay. And obviously you've played in a few varsity matches now. Looking forward to this one, I'm sure. Do you think it'll be different in your preparations, or are you just getting your head down, preparing as you would normally?
I don't think we need to prepare any differently. I mean, I think the results for the last few years speak for themselves. We're pretty happy with our preparation going into the fixture, so we don't see the need to change that much. Tweak a few things, but yeah, no, we're pretty happy. We do the same things we've done.
Yeah. And how's Cambridge preparation going this year?
Yeah, it's intense. We've stepped up, and we've had a lot of success with our training camps. Our mid-season training camp up at Hull KR has been something that started that ball rolling, and it's just about ramping up from there towards the varsity match.
Fantastic. How are the squad's doing? Obviously training hard. What special training techniques might you have? Obviously you can share. I'll start with Hugo again on this one. Anything that you're able to share with us that you're doing perhaps that might be slightly different from the norm?
Well, I mean, we've got a sociopath for a conditioning coach, so he just, really beasts us. So I think that's the only thing really. The fitness sessions are really intense. We pride ourselves on our fitness, so yeah.
Timmy, we're doing?
Training on through the snow and ice. I know when others have had cancelled practices, we've been training on those mornings and making sure we haven't cancelled any trainings, whatever the condition.
How does it feel playing in the varsity match? Can you explain your thought process as you're approaching the match? You know, perhaps if you could start from perhaps the week out, 2 weeks out, leading up to taking to the field and hearing the whistle go.
Yeah, so intense is probably another word. The word you use again. You build up. Your season is obviously every game that you play is an important game and a must-win game. But the build-up around the varsity match is obviously nothing like any other game that you're going to play. So it's about really spending as much time as you can with the squad and bonding together as a squad, and then keeping that training, but making sure you keep that mentality fixed towards that game. As you get closer to it, the night before is a very tense night, but there's something we always have a social together as we make sure that the club stick together for that evening, and then the emotions just ramp up on the journey down until that moment before the whistle, when you hear your names called out over the tannoy and you're sat in the change rooms and you can hear that, and you're getting going. Then you're really up for the game, and then running out of that pitch with that atmosphere and the crowd behind you is it's immense feeling. Yeah.
Hugo, what's it like to captain Oxford in a varsity match?
Well, I mean, I'll find out on the 8th of March, but I imagine it'll be brilliant. Throughout the season, it's been fantastic. It's been an honour and a privilege. I know personally the captains from the last 3-4 years, so it's been a real honour to carry on the good work they've done, and hopefully I can basically continue and get another win for Oxford.
Okay. You've done very well in the last few years. 5 out of the last 6, I think. Yeah. What do you put that success down to?
I mean, our coaching team is fantastic. We've Dan Garbutt as head coach. The man's a magician. He's brilliant. Like I say, the sociopathic fitness team, and John Hobart as well. Between them, we've had a new coach this year as well, Tom James. They just know the game inside out. They're really able to sort of focus on individual things in training sessions. Really, as the year goes on, the entire game plan just comes together through their sessions and stuff. So I mean, I put it down to our coaches. They're brilliant.
Yeah. And from the Cambridge perspective, you're approaching the game with one match ahead in terms of the series.
Yeah.
I'm sure quite keen to maintain the lead over Oxford.
Increase the lead,
Or increase the lead, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. What do you think you need to do differently to perhaps focus this year on getting that victory and making sure that Oxford don't even the score?
It's been a season of change within the club. There's been a lot of changes within the setup, within our training schemes and stuff like that. And so far, they've proven to be really successful. We've had a really good record within the Bucks League, and we're seeing a high number of returning players, but also some great new potential coming in through the club. A number of players that have been playing league since they were old enough to run, so they've been a really good addition to the club. But yeah, it's now about just bringing that forward and like I said, ramping up towards that varsity match.
Okay. Could you tell me a bit more about the blue status at Cambridge? Because I think there's a bit of a difference between the two. Do you think that has an effect on the levels of the two clubs?
So both clubs hold the discretionary full blue status. Cambridge traditionally handed out less blues. I think it's something that they do as a university is hand out less blues than the other place. But I think it's something that's focused on slightly too much as an issue. The draw of the game itself, the draw of the sport pulls in the players, and as we return to a higher class of fixture and get look towards televising in the future, and that's something that I think is a bigger draw to the players than a blue status. It's something that we're in the conversations of the committee about, but it's not a huge focus for the club.
I'll just ask that perhaps a slightly different way to Hugo there. Obviously you traditionally get the starting 13 get a full blue. Do you think that's had an impact in terms of the progress of the sport at Oxford?
I mean, undeniably for some players there's a motivation to get a blue. Guys do come down wanting that, but like I said, I think it's marginal. It's guys come down to play Cambridge and to play other universities throughout the year. There's other factors in it, the social side of it, the playing at a level that's higher than college rugby. So no, I think the blue status thing is marginal. It's not really important.
As you mentioned, the broadcast of the varsity match is not going to be broadcast on Sky Sports this year, and we traditionally have been on Sky Sports. Do you think that has an impact on the perception of the game at the university? Do the players even think about it when they take to the field? Do they think about it beforehand? What's the mentality about broadcast and so on? What does it mean to people?
It's quite a big thing. So, I mean, how often do you get to play in a match that's televised to sort of the university level? You don't. Very few of us will go on to play professionally or anything like that. So it's a big thing. People are aware whether or not it's televised. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to beating Cambridge. Like it doesn't matter whether it's seen on TV or not, as long as it happened. So yeah, I mean, like I say, people are aware of it, but it's not the be all and end all.
Tim, we've been doing some maths on the sponsorship of the varsity match, and we believe that Pcubed have either been sponsoring the varsity match for 15 or potentially 16 years. That is perhaps the longest ever sponsorship deal in rugby league history. In terms of the varsity match moving forward, do you think having a sponsor like Pcubed in place is something that rugby league needs? And obviously I'm sure we're grateful to Pcubed. What are your thoughts about having support from an organisation like Pcubed?
Well, Oxford and Cambridge are a place of traditions, and so to be able to have that longest running sponsorship deal within rugby league is another tradition that we set, and so it's something that we're really proud of to set those standards within rugby league, and continuing on is a relationship that we really want to bring forward.
Yeah. Just a thought. Any suggestions why you might have chosen maroons as your second team colours? Is it anything to do with Pcubed?
No, it's the state of origin, I think. So yeah.
Fair enough. Just one final question for you both. Hugo first. Just where's the background of your players from? Are they from League Heartlands? Are they from outside League? Have they got a union background, or
it's a bit
just a mix?
Bag. Yeah, we've got some boys from League Heartlands, some from Warrington and Leyland and stuff, but a lot of them are from South and union backgrounds. It's a mixed bag really. There's no dominant group in the squad.
Tim, same question?
Yeah, well, like I mentioned, we've had a number of players coming through who have been playing league for a much longer time. You know, some of which are coming from the traditional league backgrounds of Hull and around those areas. But actually, as league's expanding and getting a higher presence in the UK, we've got players who are playing for teams in Kent and have been before university as well, which is really exciting to see happening.
Actually, that was the last question. I've got one final question. Score prediction?
Big win to Cambridge.
Okay, Hugo?
Well, obviously a big win to Oxford.
No, brilliant.